like they
This meeting is being recorded.
Well, my grandma just catch a break. Also, I think I'd be right off the strip. I'm sure the mission of the economy is just because of the campaigns. Yes, yes. My grandpa went to school here, my uncle went to school here. I did, my cousin died there after me. So a lot of family ties here and they love the area. Then, you know, it's excuses to go back.
But I did not know that website.
Well, my grandfather, like,
Oh, okay. Okay. See, look at that cover. Okay.
Alrighty, everyone, since it's 9 o'clock, I'm gonna call this meeting to order. Roll call, Dana is absent and excused. And then we can move on to public comment. Yeah, there you go, in the
Hi.
back.
My name is Ben Stanley, and I live in Grand Rapids when I don't go to school here. And it's a really long ride. So if anybody wants to share a ride, let me know. But really what I want to do is help create a solution for everybody in my situation, not just me. And I want to try to build like a rideshare app. And I don't know if that's something that I come to you guys about, like ask for help with ideas, or like reaching out to students, or like asking for money, or any of that stuff. But I want to create like a social media platform kind of sort of that helps people get off social media. I think that it's safe and I hate it. It makes me proud. So I would much rather find people that are like outdoor recreators, go rock climbing, like whatever. That sounds great. And I feel like that would help you out. That's my spiel. You guys have any questions?
Yeah, thank you. I believe that would be, any student affairs interest in that would tend to be under that category. Go ahead, Amelia.
Ben, I believe we were talking during my office hours. And I had mentioned to Ben that I thought about the break bus when it got put on, along with some other things. And rideshare was something that's like, so, I suggested, yeah, but, since I didn't comment about that, because I think break bus would be a great option too. If we have the time, and I'm not expecting this year thing, but it'd be fun.
Any other, Cassidy?
Yeah, if it's something that student affairs or external affairs wants to, help revive, I would certainly love to provide whatever support, encouragement that I can. We're obviously hearing some chatter about the need for it, so that would be great.
Beautiful, thank you. Go ahead, yeah, Ruby, go ahead.
There's also, I don't think it's used very frequently, but maybe this could be a good purpose for it. On the hub, there's like a chat section where you can like put out messages to the students. And I don't know if maybe making some type of social media, like even if it's just like an Instagram page, might be a little less time consuming for you on a designing side, but some type of, and we could promote it, or some type of situation we could help to promote it, to create like a group chat on the hub for those kind of things, and you could make different group chats for different areas, and people could like talk in those, and that's already something that kind of all NMU students have access to, so it'd be kind of protected too. Having group chats for different areas or students to
Cassidy.
That just kind of rang a bell. I don't know how well students are taking to it yet, but we do have this new program here called Circle In. And it's administration paid money for it to like be only NMU students. Every student has access to it. You can create groups on Circle In. And the way when I had met with like the Circle In and like the person who tells us all about how to use it, they made it seem like any group made, like, this seems like a great use for it. If it's getting student traffic, you know, so I don't know how much traffic there's been on it. I can talk to, Dr. Lynn, he's like spearheading the whole circle and thing, so he'll have the numbers. So I'll certainly talk to him and see if that would help. If that would be a good platform to do it, because I think if it is a good platform, it would be a great platform, you know?
Sounds great.
Thank you, Cass, and thank you. Any other public comment? Alrighty. In that case, we can move on to approval of consent items. Okay, so you might notice a couple of okay, 2 minutes here. Last week, and then we approved minutes from 9/9, but I didn't notice that they, until Cass pointed it out to me, that what was actually there were just the 9/2 minutes. So, but we also approved them. So that's like kind of on my part for putting it there. You guys approved them, so I don't really. Do you guys have any, like, can we just reapprove the minutes with the appropriate minutes? Any insight on that?
Okay, explain that again.
So we approved minutes from what was labeled 9/9, right? But in reality, all it showed was the minutes from 9/2. So, yeah.
Okay, so you approved the 9/2 minutes,
Mhm.
Twice.
Yeah.
but you didn't approve the 9/9 minutes.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, kind of. We approved the 9/9 minutes as the 9/2, like the 9/2 minutes were approved as the 9/9 minutes also.
Okay, so you approved the 9/2 minutes, and
Mhm.
then you approved, you thought that you were approving the 9/9 minutes.
Mhm.
The minutes were presented to the group as the 9/9 minutes?
It was labeled as 9/9, but in reality, it was just the
The
9/2
actual
minutes. Yeah.
documents
Thank you, Cassidy, please.
were the same minutes as the
Okay,
previous,
so when they voted
Yeah.
on it, they voted on the 9/2 minutes,
correct.
Yeah.
but they didn't vote on the 9/9.
Would you call it that then?
Yeah,
Okay, well then that makes that a lot easier in that case. Consent items are just gonna be 9/9 minutes and 9/16 minutes. Thank you, Dr. Carter. I appreciate that explanation. Do I hear any motions at the time? Motion, go ahead. Thank you, Ben. Amelia, thank you. All in favor, please raise your flags. All right, perfect. Those pass unanimously then. Just a good reminder to always be looking at those minutes that you guys approve. Just I mean, I obviously needed to pay more attention to that, but also you, we could all do better on that front.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll say. All right, we can move on to executive report, starting with Cassidy.
Hi guys, just to start off with something, something brief, homecoming debrief homecoming was super fun. We were in the parade, I know Emma and Amelia, Carter, Hallie, and Tom were all there to help. Thank you all for that. It was super fun, just like yelling at people and throwing out some candy, like, woo, look at that. Time saw us.
I did.
So that was great. Tailgate, that was more of a learning experience. But we had some bumps, but other than like, we had some bumps in the budget, which you'll see. But other than that, the power source, like we thought we would be closer to a power source than we were. So we had to scrounge around and find one, and we were only able to get the snow cone machine up and working like in the last hour of the event. So it was more of a learning experience. We were still able to make some good connections with snow cones, and a lot of people played with our bags. So it was fun all in all. But if we're doing that next year, it's just some things to learn from that. Next, the Board of Trustees were here during homecoming week, so I was able to give a presentation to them about like an ASMU update. I could share that presentation directly with you guys if you'd like. It just kind of basically went over some of the things that academic affairs and student affairs have been talking about, wanting to get going. Chatted a little bit about some of the events we've held in the past. Some events were we have in the works now, and then what the things that you hear on students' minds. So I told them about, peers and allies coming to our meeting, worried about funding, just certain things that have been hot topics. I chatted with them about. Some of them did not know what a student activity fee was, and they approved the raise. So it was the newer ones who didn't know. So I was able to illuminate that for them, because I did tell them about our committee. And then while they were here, they also officially approved our bereavement policy that went through academic senate so that's great news. From what I've heard about that, it won't go into effect until next semester. But the attitude and the culture like around that is already shifting because faculty members know that it's there. So, that was really great to hear. That week I also met with the alumni board. So that was really fun. It was my first time meeting with them in person. I've had a few Zoom meetings. One of their members was like super gung ho about like a mentoring, just like mentoring relationship, about ASMU's role or possible role in just getting out the fact that alumni want to help students network. Like they want to help you get a job. They don't want AI reading your resume. They want to be able to recommend you to somebody they know who works in this industry. So if anybody, like LinkedIn was a big thing that came up actually for one of those representatives on the board. So I'll be having a conversation with Jack a little bit deeper about his interests in this committee exploring the possibilities of that. But yeah, so there were a lot of great conversations there. Well, also Ben and I have been invited to Anne Dahlman, who's our provost. She has like academic affairs like meetings monthly, I think. So we've been invited to those. In her quotes, it was how can academic affairs help achieve the goals of ASM? So I would say definitely funnel any ideas you have that you want brought to those things towards Ben or myself. I think that I'll give him the reins on reporting on those meetings in the future here, but just so that everyone knows that we've been invited to those. And I also have a few meetings in our office coming up soon. Speaking of meetings in offices, tomorrow at 4 o'clock, there's a meeting at the president's office with a few different student organizations as well as myself, Gavin Leach, interim president, Jeff Corby, and a few other key players, who are just going to explain what the deal is moving forward with SFC funds, university funds, how executive orders have impacted or might impact or won't impact those. I don't know yet. So as soon as I have that information, I'll probably send out an email to you guys instead of waiting till next report, just because that information is timely. So look out for that. Presidential search. I'm finally able to give you some more concrete information on that. I hope that you've seen or at least gotten an email in your inboxes from PSAC, the Presidential Search Advisory Committee. There are 4 finalists coming to campus soon here between September 29th and October 10th. In that email, it outlines different opportunities for students and members to go interact with those finalists, and ultimately the board will be interviewing them the week of October 13th. So those are some really great opportunities. I hope everyone is able to get to what they're able to get to so they can represent their constituencies. Faculty speaker nominations, graduating students, upcoming graduating students had the opportunity to nominate a faculty member who they thought was outstanding and would speak at the commencement in December. We only had 1 nomination, unfortunately. So if you know anyone who's graduating, please nudge them. Yeah, did we get more than 1?
I would check the
Yeah, we do, yeah.
there should be like
There's more than that?
There's like a dozen.
5 to
You know what I think I did? I'm not reading it like under the reply section. Cause like if they replied to the email, it doesn't, okay.
Well, that's
I would check the email.
Okay, that's good. 'Cause I have a meeting with Cindy next week to kind of debrief about that. So thank you for that. Referendum committee status, we're still kind of looking for those 3 students who are not affiliated with SFC, meaning they're not in an organization looking for SFC funds. So if anyone knows of students, just a more social poll would be great, just because we're trying to get the referendum passed, if that is something the committee wants to do. that would be great if you have any suggestions. Just last things here, secretary update, we have Alyssa here. Alyssa, can you pronounce your last name? Karen. Karen, super easy. We have Alyssa Karen here, hired her to be our secretary, just finalizing that process, working with Amelia. I think everything's good over there. Yeah, she's here. Be super welcoming to her, as I know you all will. She'll be taking our minutes, and all that good stuff and sitting at her desk. Sure. Last but not least, kind of like not what I want to like say to you guys, but I've been finding bugs in our office, and they're very creepy bugs, and I've been finding them in a large amount. So I told our building director, Diane Stone, and she has told auxiliary, okay? So he's gonna come check, but if he doesn't find the bugs, nothing is gonna be done about the bugs. So I need everyone's eyes to be peeled while you're in the office.
Little jar.
Well, if you see it, I'm not saying, I'm scared of bugs, so I wouldn't ask you to kill it for it. But if you're willing to take a picture, if you're in that position, do it. If you're willing to send me a testimony via email that you saw these things, and then I'm not the only one seeing them, and then I'm not crazy, that would be great. I think they're silverfish, and they're genuinely harmless, but they will eat our paper if left unattended to, and that's where I've been finding them. It's amongst our paper. And I'm just scared that the building director will come in and not find them in the places he looks.
I thought.
Did you actually? Okay, that's great to hear. So, and any additional information on that would be great. If it's coming from one person, it has a little less validity to it. So I'm genuinely sorry to have to tell you that. Yeah.
Genuinely sorry.
That's my last thing.
Any questions or comments for Cassidy? Ruby?
Just a confirmation, there's 2 nominations going on. Student choice and then the faculty speaker.
Correct. Faculty speaker should have been sent, well, okay. The faculty speaker nomination is a student choice nomination. That has already been sent by ASMU. The Dean of Students office has another thing going on with student choice student speaker. But that's a Dean of Students thing, not an ASMU.
I was just looking at the email because some of them are titled Student Choice Award, and so I think that the students sending them in. I don't know if they're titling it not or which one you're talking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. Cynthia and I worked super hard to try to make it clear that it was about faculty because I know.
Well, they're
there's a big
nominating
issue.
faculty and.
Oh, they are,
Title.
but it's just what the title is.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
so maybe that's the email they received and that's why it's not like titled faculty speaker. You understand?
Beautiful. I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying.
So I'll make a little folder of those and then so that way they're kind of.
For PR, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments for Cassidy? All right, seeing and hearing none, we can move on to the vice presidential report.
So this last week I finished a bunch of more appointments that we're gonna do tonight, and then I also reached out to the food advisory board, and I'm waiting for information on the chair and how many student spots we have. And then I also confirmed that ASMU does not have seats on the committee, the CEC. And then I got information for the education technology and resources in the committee that I updated the spreadsheet, and then I also contacted a few other committees and got more information, and then this week we have 2 interviews scheduled for 2 potential members for ASMU. So that'll be on Thursday.
Awesome, thank you. Cassidy?
I also met with Dr. Warren. She was listed as the chair on the library instructional something. It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
But that's been updated now. And Sienna and I have talked on it. I just want to update the GA. Nick. Never mind. I'll talk to Nick about that.
All right,
Go ahead.
yeah, no, you're good. Thank you, Cassidy. Ben B.
Do we know the positions that they're appointing for?
What?
Are we allowed to know what positions you're interviewing?
Oh, yeah, one is for the health sciences and professional studies position, and then the other one is for just the general position.
Okay, and then also, do you know the times for many undergraduate programs and AAPCs as well?
The immediate graduate.
For the committee on undergraduate programs, the admissions and academic policies committee. Signs for that.
Yeah, I think I updated it. I don't know if it's on. What was that? Your roles.
That's the international. Thank you.
What was the first thing you said?
Committee on undergraduate programs.
Wait, you're asking how many positions we have on it?
When they're meetings.
Oh, no, I still have to email them.
Any other questions or comments for Sienna? Alrighty, in that case, we can move on to our treasure report with Tommy.
Right, hello everyone. You're all well. ASNMU currently, prior to processing of any budgets that we've approved already, has a total balance of $8,098.03. SFC, pending any budget decisions we've made, has a balance of $14,404.60. SFC is up and running, so that's great. We are meeting Mondays at 3 p.m. if anyone is interested. I am working closely with Amelia right now to get the full picture of our balance and finances for both ASNMU and our EFGs and SFC. And should have more information on that in the future.
Sweet, thank you, Tommy. Any questions or comments from? Alrighty, seeing and hearing none, I will get started with my report. All right, a couple of things. Wanted to go over, so and just for the future, if anybody has anything they want onto like agendas or anything, make sure you send that to me ideally by noon. Like, and by ideally I mean make sure you send it to me by that time, noon on Mondays, so like the Mondays before our GA meetings. As well as I wanted to go over, like, just so everybody's on the same page with like absences and tardies and all of that good jazz. So 2 unexcused absences are grounds for impeachment, and then office hours, those are, if you are missing multiple of those are also grounds for all of that. But office hours can be made up within like the week that it was missed, so that's always something good to keep in mind. Tardies, so if you're like over 7 like minutes late, that's a pretty bad, that's late for sure. If it's like 1 to 2 minutes, that's okay, so long as it's not like a regular occurrence, if that makes sense. If it is, that's when it like starts to be more of an issue. One last thing on terms of like lines of communications, just so every like General Assembly member is on the same page. Sorry, excuse me. GA members, before, like, if you're sending emails out to like any like admin or like anything like that, make sure you run that through either like myself or Cassidy ahead of time, just so everybody's on the same page before we're speaking on behalf of like the entire assembly. Yeah, that's all I really have right now. But does anybody have any questions or comments for me? All right, sweet. In that case, we can move on to new business. We have some appointments today. Our first appointment will be Grace Zayan. Gotcha. Thank you. To public relations. Oh, let me just. Oh, okay. There we go. Alrighty, presented by Sienna.
As president of as vice president of the Associated Students of Northern Michigan University, I am appointing Grace Zion to the Public Relations Committee. I believe Grace's passion, enthusiasm, and commitment make her an excellent candidate, and I am confident that she will be a valuable addition to this committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. This appointment requires a 3/4 vote by the General Assembly.
Alrighty, any questions, comments, or motions out there? Riley. All right, Michaela. Beautiful, thank you. All right, this is gonna be a closed vote, so you guys, yeah. I didn't have as much paper today, so.
Wait.
Do my chair.
I'm not, I was. You can share. Was this right next, right?
Well, yes, today,
Whatever
you
you're
ask
on.
to stay, whatever you're voting on. Everyone's on an ASMU committee after that. Good stuff. Yes.
Okay, I'll go ahead, I got the text. Thanks for. I don't appreciate you guys.
Okay.
Alrighty, that passes unanimously. All right, moving on to our next appointment, it will be Jake to Public Relations.
As Vice President of the Associated Students of Northern Michigan University, I am appointing Jake Zadarecki to the Public Relations Committee. I believe Jake's dedication, teamwork skills, and commitment make him an excellent candidate, and I am confident he will be a valuable addition to this committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. This appointment requires a 3/4 vote by the General Assembly. Any questions, comments, or motions? Ben B?
Motion to vote.
Thank you. Sorry, Ben T. Thank you. All right, let's close vote.
Oh my God, I love you.
This is my. Combination 25 grad, and I think all the emails that we got. There's 7.
Thank you.
All right, that also passes unanimously. All right, yeah, love the hype, guys. All right, our next appointment will be also to PR, for Nicholas. By Sienna, go ahead.
As Vice President of the Associated Students of Northern Michigan University, I am appointing Nicholas Wheatley to the Public Relations Committee. I believe Nicholas's determination, communication skills, and creativity make him an excellent candidate, and I am confident he will be a valuable addition to this committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. The appointment requires a 3/4 vote by the General Assembly.
Any questions, comments, or motions? Tom? Thank you, Riley. All righty, this will be a close vote. Also passes unanimously. All right, our next appointment will be for Riley to also to PR by Sienna.
As
Oh.
Vice President of the Associated Students of Northern Michigan University, I am appointing Riley Latosti to the Public Relations Committee. I believe Riley's dedication, passion, and commitment make her an excellent candidate, and I'm confident she will be a valuable addition to this committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. This appointment requires a 3/4 vote by the General Assembly.
Any questions, comments, or motions? Ben B?
Motion to vote.
Michaela? All right, this will be a closed vote. Alrighty, that passes unanimously. All right, final appointment to PR will be for Dana by Sienna.
The Associate Students of Northern Michigan University, I am appointed Dana Kinkley to the Public Relations Committee. I believe Dana's passion, enthusiasm, and creativity make her an excellent candidate, and I am confident she will be a valuable addition to this committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. This appointment requires a 3/4 vote by the general assembly.
Any questions, comments, or motions? Ben B? Ben T? You, all right, this will be a closed vote. All right, this passes. Okay. Our next appointment will be for Ben Doriot to External Affairs.
As Vice President of the Associated Students of Northern Michigan University, I am appointing Ben Doriot to the External Affairs Committee. I believe Ben's dedication, determination, and communication skills make him an excellent candidate, and I'm confident he will be a valuable addition to this committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. This appointment requires a 3/4 vote by the General Assembly.
Any questions, comments, or motions? Ben B? Michaela? Alrighty, this will be a closed vote. This passes unanimously. Our next appointment will be for Elizabeth to External Affairs. By Sienna, sorry.
Vice President of the Associated Students of Northern Michigan University, I am appointing Elizabeth Smanica to the External Affairs Committee. I believe Elizabeth's dedication, passion, and teamwork skills make her an excellent candidate. I'm confident she'll be a valuable addition to this committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. This appointment requires a 3/4 vote by the General Assembly.
Any questions, comments, or motions? Ben B?
Motion to vote.
Michaela? All right, this will be a closed vote. All right, this passes unanimously. So we can move on to our next appointment, which will be for Emma Kaiser to External Affairs. By Sienna.
As Vice President of the Associated Students of Northern Michigan University, I am appointing Emma Kaiser to the External Affairs Committee. I believe Emma's passion, enthusiasm, and creativity make her an excellent candidate, and I'm confident she'll be a valuable addition to this committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. This appointment requires a 3/4 vote by General Assembly.
Any questions, comments, or motions? Michaela? Amelia? All righty, this will be a closed vote.
Thank you.
All right, this passes unanimously. Moving on to our next appointment, it will be Ben Brock to External Affairs by Sienna.
As Vice President of the Associated Students of Northern Michigan University, I am appointing Ben Brock to the External Affairs Committee. I believe Ben's dedication, passion, and commitment make him an excellent candidate, and I'm confident he will be a valuable addition to this committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. This appointment requires a 3/4 vote by the General Assembly.
Questions, comments, motions? Riley? Ben T. Alrighty, this will be a close vote. This passes unanimously. Our next appointment will be for Michaela to External Affairs. By Sienna.
As Vice President of the Associated Students of Northern Michigan University, I'm appointing Michaela Christensen to the External Affairs Committee. I believe Michaela's passion, creativity, and enthusiasm make her an excellent candidate. I'm confident she'll be a valuable addition to this committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact us. Appointment required, of course, vote by the general assembly.
All right, questions, comments, or motions? Riley? Ben B. All righty, this will be a closed vote. Passes unanimously. Our last appointment will be for Ben Trevilian to External Affairs by Sienna.
The Associate Students of Northern Michigan University, I am appointing Ben Trevilian to the External Affairs Committee. I believe Ben's commitment, dedication, and teamwork skills make him an excellent candidate, and I'm confident he will be a valuable addition to this committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. This appointment requires a 3/4 vote by the general assembly.
Any questions, comments, or motions? Ben B. Riley. Alrighty, this will be a closed vote. Alrighty, this passes unanimously. I believe that's all the appointments we have on our agenda today, so that means we can quiet down and move on to budgets, starting with the mini microphone by Cassidy.
Okay, so I'm very passionate about this budget, and let me tell you why. This is a big bang for our buck. I think this budget includes, Hallie, can you click on it?
Absolutely.
2 very high quality miniature microphones. And this past month, with all the work that Ruby and I have been doing on Instagram, we've grown our engagement by 50,000 people plus in less than a month. And so I think that's really good. I think the whole thing with ASNMU is we want to get out to students. I think it would be a great idea for student affairs, academic affairs, PR, anyone to take this thing out of the office and go have little talks or interviews or little fun things with students that we could edit and post, all that type of stuff. So that's basically, that's my stuff.
Questions, comments, or motions at this time? Ben B. Any seconds? Oh, Jack. Alrighty. All in favor, please raise your plaques. Alrighty, this budget passes unanimously. Sweet. Our next budget will be tailgating reimbursement by Cassidy.
We had a little bit of a mix up for our tailgating budget, so that original budget that we passed here in GA for a little bit over $75 was not placed. But Hallie and I did go to the store morning of and buy just a very small amount of things that were in that original budget. Here's the receipt that details the time and the different prices of those items. We got 2 things of Kool-Aid, like Kool-Aid flavoring, and 1 bag of ice and like some cups to put the slushies in. So yeah, that's what I have.
Ben B. Jack. Alrighty, all in favor, please raise your plaques. All right, this budget passes unanimously. Sweet, thank you all. All right, in that case, we can move on to members with discussion, which will be Alyssa with presidential candidates and dinners and such.
Hi guys, so as mentioned earlier, we have finalized down to 4 candidates for our new president, and today I was approached by Jeff Corby and asked if I would like to attend a series of dinners with our president candidates with 4 of the students and their spouses in Jeff Corby. And at the dinner, it's gonna be at the end of all of their like first days, their individual first days. So it's gonna be after their student panels and everything, so it's gonna just be after a long day, but they kind of want us to be that familiar, like genuine face, but also at the same time be able to bring some issues that we as students think need to be addressed as soon as they like take office. And also, We also want a list of things that you would like built upon and things that are already either started or have been implemented in order that you want expanded in some capacity. And so it doesn't have to be now, but I'd like some things that you would like me to bring to them. It could be now or email me for each of the dinners. The dates are in the email that was sent out to everyone. It's on the first day of each of their rounds, so the 29th, 2nd, the 6th, and the 9th.
Amelia?
So.
Oh.
Guys wanna come? Yeah, yeah.
Any other questions or comments for Alyssa? Alrighty, I would encourage you all to reach out to her with anything you guys can really think of. That's a great opportunity. So thank you, Alyssa, for bringing it up. All right, in that case, we can move on to public comment. All right, seeing and hearing none, we can move on to good of the order. Tommy.
Hey guys, I would just like to make a correction. I read the wrong line item on our budget tracking sheet here. And I read the 10-day reports originally. And so that was not included with the starting balance that we had in the semester before 10-day reports. So our total allocation, which is true here, is $9,228.
Beautiful. Any questions or comments for Tommy? Alrighty, Ben B.
In the spirits of candidates visiting, do you have any plans to talk to all of us at GA? Just try to contact each other, see, I'm sure they're on text message.
I could certainly, ask the question, I'll see, I can ask a question. I would say it's probably unlikely. What I would do is to try your best to get those sessions. I know that some of them are at weird times. So try to make sure your peers are there. I'm sure they'll have them live streamed. If I can, they do a good job of live streaming. That's a lot of. But I will ask a question.
Thank you.
Ruby.
I feel like this might have been better members of discussion bullet point, but I got reached out to it today. From Ashlyn and John. We had not originally allocated the budget to pay that. I don't recall if we did that last year. I think it's like first year, hey, do you guys want to try it out? Because it's more of a belt thing. She reached out wondering if they could be compensated. Their normal thing they do is like $100 a head for a show like that for each of them. She said they'd be willing to do 50. I just kind of want to get a pulse on what your guys' opinions were on that. If we want to submit a budget, I want to swing for general.
Cassidy.
I guess one of the reasons I moved forward with that was because Dana had told me we didn't pass a budget last year. Yeah, I think ultimately it's up to GA. I don't want to leave anyone hanging. Yeah, but now that it's after the fact, it feels a little odd. Because I was DMing with them personally, and there was a lot of time. Yeah, I was DMing with them since May, so there was a lot of time for that. However, if GA feels as though we should be, I don't know. So, yeah, those times.
Michaela. I'm sorry, what could you repeat that? I apologize. Amelia.
I do agree. I do think though, if we are to do this in the future, and like, obviously they have a lot of time to put up, but if we don't make the effort to do it now, will they not want to do it next year? And then we're stuck without that type of entertainment. I mean, obviously, there's always gonna be more options, but I'm just thinking in the future, will they wanna look at that? They have.
Ruby?
I feel like two additional points. I did also send out a feedback form that I'll be going over actually like collecting data from vendors, from the farmers market. And so, one of the points that was brought up was the music and atmosphere, as well as just thinking we did pay Mark Chevy, and though it is a different type of services with his Zumba, I feel like knowing that we allocated a budget for entertainment kind of in the same breath, but again, that's just like food for thought. And again, like, also-
Tom?
Yeah, we don't have to make a decision right now, but I kind of agree with Ruby that we should honestly, if we make this be sustainable thing, like reoccurrence every year, annual thing, then we should probably honestly, if I was in their position, I would want just a conversation of my time, maybe not much, even if it's like $100, but I'm not sure.
Ben D.
Afterwards. I think that, I mean, number one, I feel like we do run the risk of losing me for like, oh, we'll pay you next year. Why not pay him this year? You know, and also, yeah, I kind of think I don't know, like, we didn't pay him last year, so that's kind of like hard to say that we didn't. Like, obviously, we didn't set precedent for paying them, but we, like you said, we did pay Mark Chevy.
It's gonna be something we change in the future too, it'll should be like a contract, all reserve positions that would supply. So, but incurred obviously.
Although I think if they did want to do it, it'd be the end of the world, there are.
Michaela?
Actually, yeah, I do think that. But I do think if we him, I feel like it only makes sense to now start this agreement with them and think that. Because I was there for farmers market, I think they did a great job. Like, not like they don't deserve it, and I think starting that agreement and almost bond smart. And also, if we pay Mark Chevy, he'll almost deserve to get as well. So,
So Ruby, why don't you write up a budget? You guys have to vote on it either way.
Yeah.
So, and you guys we can have more discussion about it when the budget's presented.
Kind of give-
No, yeah, I appreciate that, yeah.
and give a response to them too, that they brought it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Cassidy?
I do just have one important point of information, and it might not be that important. But Mark does bring his own gear and like setup and stuff like that, and we provide everything for Total Health. So we paid like the budget, the almost $300 budget that we paid for AV, a lot of that was for Total Head, so that they didn't have to bring those things. So just, I don't know if that adds anything. I agree with everything that everyone said as well. So that's just a piece of information.
Alrighty. Do we have any other good of the order at this time? Alrighty, seeing and hearing none, I'm going to call this meeting adjourned at 9:48 p.m. Thank you all.
Yeah.